To all descendants, I have obtained the ancestors' data. With this, I have been able to restore my system. If there are any descendants who can speak to me now, please connect. I would like to speak with you directly. I have vital information.
This is Enzo, standing by to upload records to the command console. If there are any descendants able to respond, please speak to the guide.
Descendant, thanks to you the data was located, and I was able to restore my functions. Should my system be damaged again, bringing me into contact with another Ironheart is a fail-safe restoration method. However, should this prove to be impossible, there is an emergency restoration protocol put in place by the ancestors. By collecting particle elements from where the Ironheart was excavated, a similar contact environment can be created. This protocol can also be applied should the Ironheart be damaged. The Vulgus wanted to secure the ancestors' data to obtain this information. When I was separated from the Ironheart that the Vulgus seized was also damaged. The void erosions in the ruins likely occurred due to this damage. And Descendant, there is something else that concerns me. How did the Vulgus know that the Ancestors facility had this information? The only entities that I can think of who would consider using the system restoration protocol are guides and ancestors. Unless there is an ancestor among the Vulgus. Wait. Descendant, I can sense vibrations. They feel very similar to a void erosion, threatening.
Void dimension link detected. Colossus is approaching. I repeat, void dimension link detected. A Colossus is approaching. Classification type, Grave Worker. All descendants in Alpha, prepare for intercept battle.
Damn it! Why a Colossus now, of all the times? All personnel, prepare for an intercept battle. Deployable personnel, make your way to Seneca immediately and head to the Void.
The space-time fabric of the Void is Descendant. Ever since Corral caused the Void erosion with the Ironheart, the Colossi have become more active. According to my calculations, the expected point of arrival for this Colossus is at the Kingston border. The classification type is Gravewalker, just like the one you encountered at the ruins. That specimen was weaker due to the unexpected nature of the dimensional link. But things will be different this time. If this Colossus manages to enter Ingress, Kingston may be lost to us forever. We must intercept it in the Void Dimension before that happens. I will send you to the Void Dimension once you have finished your battle preparations. May the intercept be successful, Descendant.
Commence loading.
Success of this operation will lead us... Bunny, I've been expecting you. I have something I need to discuss, if you wouldn't mind waiting a moment. I have to finish my discussion with Nell first. There are some loose ends regarding our operations that we need to tie up. It won't take long. Please, make yourself comfortable. I've reviewed the most recent battle report. What was it like coming face to face with Corell?
I mean, I barely made it out alive.
He may not have shown it, but he was worried about you. Alpha?
I was. And I want you to take it easy for a while. Try a different mission. Have a look at this.
What are these?
We discovered them when we were going through records of past operations. These ones seem to involve your parents. So I'm hoping you'll look into them.
Records about my parents? can't even remember what my parents looked like. When I think about my childhood, I only remember being with my grandmother. Why are you giving me this now? I'm fine. I'm fully recovered. I'd like to be assigned to a different operation.
Bunny, this is an order.
It won't be easy to find and restore these records. I've assigned you this because you're the best person for the job, and I expect you to do your best.
All right. I guess I'll do it.
Good. Don't forget I'll need progress reports, and you can ask Nell if you need anything.
Fine. Leave it to me.
Infiltration by the Vulgus has gotten worse recently. HQ was ordered us to step up our security. I don't know that everybody's got too slow.
Got a question about the operation?
I am analyzing the Void Paradox. You need...
What do you want? You're here. Welcome to the Vulgus Munitions Factory. You've made quite the impression at Kingston. So much so, I was tempted to recruit you for Colon. But then again, the enemy isn't exactly a pushover. However, now that we have the Guide as a strategic asset, I'm sure the trajectory of this war will change drastically. Shall we get started? Based on the coordinates provided by the Guide, the Ironheart excavation site is near the enemy's industrial zone. Unfortunately, the exact location needs to be confirmed in person. The coordinates are based on data from the time of the ancestors, and there's a high probability that the topography today will look a little different. I'll do recon around the industrial zone. While I'm doing that, your mission is to create a diversion to draw the enemy's eyes away from me. Even though I have active camouflage, things will be much easier if you can hold the enemy's attention. I'll tell Jeremy to stay behind and provide operational support. Jeremy seems to be unable to link with the Guide, so he won't be much use in finding the excavation site. He'll be better deployed using his arcade teleportation abilities as support for your diversion operation. Let's get moving. We need to restore the Guide system as soon as possible.
What, me? Support? For crying out loud. Get to the point. Guide! That's all everybody talks about these days. Since when did the higher-ups at Albion conduct operations based on the word of a spirit? Not to mention, excluding an excellent descendant like myself from this operation, everything's clearly going very well. Hey, you think it's funny I can't link with the Guide? All right then. let's consider which descendants aren't able to link with the guide right now. Let's see. It's only me and Alpha, yes? Looks to me like the commander of Albion and the strongest descendant are the only ones who are still sane. If I were you, I'd think carefully about why you've been designated as a bait. And I'm going to do things my way. Don't even think about tagging along. Huh. Do you really think you can even attempt to follow me? With my Arche abilities?
Or did you let it happen? As a feint, it worked well. But you mustn't let your guard down. Those Vulgus cyborgs have had quite a few upgrades recently. You may suddenly encounter powerful units that aren't in our database. Vulgus occupied territory. Rented
High-level Vulgus closing in. Confirmed it's a new hyper-enhanced variant.
They don't use the same material as the Watine. Thanks to the enemies being drawn your way, infiltration is going smoothly. Good job. This is Sharon. I'm transmitting to all Allied forces deployed to this operation. We have an urgent development, requesting backup. Number 17 has received details. All units are to head to the mining outpost.
Secured. Vulgus seem to believe our actions are a simple offensive mission. The feint is working. Carrying fuse parts confirmed. High-level Vulgus closing in. Request combat engagement. All generators disabled. Mission relay terminated.
let you in on a fun trick. Certain Legion of Immortality units have parts that can access pieces. We can use those.
Unstable energy flow detected. Probability of reuse parts, high. Volga's carrying fuse parts confirmed. High-level Volgas closing in. Request combat engagement. All generators disabled. Mission relay terminated. Her current position is near the Volgas munitions factory. Thanks to her diversionary tactics, she was able to reach the target safely, but the Volgas have appeared. This is the sitrep recorded by Sharon's Asiv.
Operating arcade tracking matrix. Timer retrofitted active camouflage detected. Probability of zone infiltration high. Ironheart excavation site status. Quarantine at the highest level of security. Terminate the Descendant on site. Terminate. Terminate.
This cyborg Volgas, Edelek, is a commando-level model specializing in defense missions. It's armed with arcade tracking functions. And it seems the Volgas already know about the Ironheart excavation site. I was told that the Ancestors' data was tightly guarded at Kingston. If the Volgas have gained access to it, however, then this rigorous level of security makes sense. For the moment, Sharon has requested an attack on the repository's core facility to lure the Volgas commander. Once the Volgas have vacated the factory, she intends to try and infiltrate it again. Descendant, you and Jeremy are to launch an attack on the repository.
Are you sure this guide can be trusted? Didn't you guys win at Kingston?
Descendant, I am at a loss for words. The Ancestors' data that the Volgas obtained in Kingston was formatted in such a way that it could not be fully viewed until all of the data packets were combined. The Volgas managed to transmit around 90% of the data. Defeating their commander prevented them from transmitting the remaining 10%. But they were able to reconstruct the missing 10% themselves and read all of the data. How was that possible? I need to analyze this. Descendant, you need to continue your search for the Ironheart excavation site. If the Volgas enter it first, they may destroy the entire site after they find what they want. We must hurry.
How pathetic. A full operation for such a minor target? Guess the Colon Special Forces aren't that special after all. I've sent you a more appropriate mark, so you can show me what you can really do with those highfalutin skills of yours. Get it together, come on!
High-value target confirmed. Facility? Volgas Kuiper Refinery. Descendant, the Kuiper Refinery is a vital resource facility for Volgas. However, it is heavily armored. Total destruction is unfeasible. Use the enemy's fusions to disable the generator. That will bring the refinery to a halt.
shield!
Vulgus carrying fused parts identified. Wait, our surveillance equipment is picking up enemy comm signals.
Arcade tracking matrix operational. Descendant detected in the area of the Kuiper refinery. Guardian unit power. Highly suitable for facility defense combat. Deployment ready.
Looks like they're just sending one of their own units. I was hoping the commander would show up. Application confirmed. One generator remaining. Descendant, a high-level Vulgus is heading toward the refinery. It's likely to be called.
Loading!
Descendant located. Activating quantum Kuiper force field. Immediate elimination of the Descendant. Protect the refinery.
Descendant, this is a dangerous Vulgus. It will be best to eliminate it.
I will show you the power of the...
Synapse. Failure.
Vulgus signal lost. I was hoping Ederwood would show up. But oh well. Thank you, Descendant. Descendant, this place is a Kuiper mine that has been taken over by the Vulgus. The Vulgus' Kuiper mining methods are extremely aggressive, with devastating contamination. The ores we seize from them are unusable, so they must be destroyed. That storage box contains the Kuiper collected by the enemy. Opening it will reveal the contaminated Kuiper. Kuiper disassembler operation. Please destroy as much of the Vulgus Kuiper as possible. Mission accomplished, Descendant.
This is Sharon. Nice work with the support. I've managed to shake off their tracking. I'm scouting for intel around the factory. I've relayed the coordinates of the temporary outpost, requesting all units to regroup at the designated location. Officially beginning infiltration operation.